Millions of people in Bangladesh and northeast India are still marooned by flooding, with more deaths reported. Some floodwaters are beginning to recede following relentless monsoon rains, but rescue teams are struggling to reach those who need help. Tens of thousands have fled to shelters. Dozens of people are so far known to have died. Some were killed by lightning strikes and landslides. Well, I'm joined now by Yogita Limai, who's in Mumbai. Yogita, this sounds like a pretty desperate situation.
Well, that's right. Millions of people have been displaced by the floods. Scores of people have been confirmed killed, but there are many missing as well. So officials are telling us that the number of dead could rise. It's also very difficult for rescuers to reach people who are stranded. The weather conditions, forecasts say that there is likely to be heavy rainfall over the next few days as well. This situation, of course, came about to be because of unrelenting heavy rainfall over the past week. And while this is quite a common occurrence in these areas, in the northeastern state of Assam, as well as in the Sylhet region of Bangladesh, Bangladeshi officials are saying that this is the worst flood they have seen in years. And in these regions, it is actually the second time, because these areas were also flooded in May. So it's the second time in just 2 months that they're seeing flooding again.
I mean, that's quite devastating, coming so soon after another extreme event. You've mentioned that this is a common occurrence, but what can actually be done about it? What is being done about it?
Well, so, there are troops have been sent in to try to evacuate as many people as possible. There are systems to put flood warnings in place. And so, at times it is possible to take people out before the flooding gets really bad. But this time around, I don't think that has been the case. From what we're hearing, there are people marooned who are running out of dry food to eat, who are running out of clean water to drink. And while there is, it is difficult to draw an exact link to climate change and its effects. We've had lots of environmentalists saying that severe events, whether it is severe flooding in the monsoon season or whether it is heat waves during the summer, that these kind of occurrences, these kind of events, that's going to intensify. The frequency is going to increase, and they attribute that towards to climate change.
And with that situation, as you say, expected to get worse, are there any long-term measures that are being taken to address this?
So in a lot of these regions, because they're quite used to seeing floods, there are procedures in place. So lots of schools, areas which they can turn quite quickly into shelters. India's National Disaster Response Force is actually quite well equipped, and year after year, it does end up saving many people from disasters like floods and cyclones. But each event, of course, has its own challenges. And in this particular one, as we're seeing people saying that this is the worst they've seen. I saw a quote from a Bangladeshi official who said this is the worst we've seen in 2004. Another Bangladeshi official saying this is the worst we've seen in 100 years. And nobody will quite be able to assess how bad it actually is until we've been able to see the effects in the next few days. So, there are challenges for rescuers. There are challenges even trying to fly helicopters in to try and get people out of there, or even to be able to drop supplies. And we are being told from both countries that efforts are underway to the extent possible.
All right, Yogita, thank you very much for joining us for that. From Mumbai, Yogita Limai.